Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Hakuouki Zuisoroku, or the fan disc material, included in the Stories of the Shinsengumi PS3 version. We are doing Harada's pieces. Today we're doing Memories of Love 2 for him, which, let's see, his premise is... April 1867. Ever since the demons attacked Nishi Hongwanji and told the protagonist her father had turned his back on the shogunate, she struggled with despair. One day, Harada takes her out into the city, where she finds Princess Sen waiting for her at a tea house. I'm not sure if I remember any scenes with Harada and Sen together before. This could be interesting. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. Yep, we're beginning here. Oh, that was their drinking party. This stomach is not a common run-in-the-mill stomach. Oh no, for this stomach knows the taste of a blade. Usually the world of the Shinsengumi is a savage, dangerous one, but that night they were enjoying themselves. In fact, they were enjoying themselves a great deal. Perhaps I thought it was by letting themselves off the leash every so often that they could return to their normal lives. That ability to turn one's emotions on and off and to release what had been held back was still a skill that I had yet to master. That compartmentalizing. Even in the midst of all the drinking and laughter of the party, I couldn't get my mind off what had happened. Can't really blame ya. October 1866. Harada had received a large bounty payment for arresting a criminal who had defaced the notice board several nights running. He declared he would take the other captains to dinner with the money, and so he'd made the short trip to Shimbara. Although our relationship had been somewhat frosty to begin with, things had improved since then, albeit only slightly. Oh, come on, they improved pretty fast with Harada. He's always been really friendly. To wit, during the arrest, Harada had seen a girl who looked exactly like me, and yet not a man amongst the Shinsengumi had doubted me. They know you better than that. I was happy, of course, that they trusted me, but the whole event had left me with a sense of unease that refused to dissipate. My father's whereabouts were still unknown, and the Shinsengumi had made new enemies in the form of several men who called themselves demons. April 1867. Spring has come, apparently unconcerned with the inner turmoil I was experiencing. But on that day, I would catch a glimpse of his kindness. Memories of Love, Part 2. April 1867. Phew! I paused to wipe the sweat off my forehead and took a moment to survey the hallway I had just finished mopping. Busy, busy, busy. It was nice to have more space, but it had made cleaning the headquarters that much harder. Do I do it by myself?
Yukimura, what are you doing?
What's it look like? I'm cleaning. Oh, hello. Sitting in my room is so boring, so I thought I'd come out here and clean the hallway.
Oh dear, that hardly seems fair. You're not even a soldier, but you're cleaning up after them?
Well, I gotta do something for room and board. It's fine, really. You've been taking care of me for months now, but I haven't done anything for you. Kondo smiled. His kind eyes crinkled at the corners. Then he seemed to remember something, and his expression turned serious.
Right, yes. I've asked Dr. Matsumoto to look into Kodo's disappearance and his whereabouts, but...
Oh, good! Has he found anything out?
He's gotten in touch with the loyalist Western doctors, but it seems none of them know any more than we do. If he's contacted them all and still turned up nothing...
Kondo left his words hanging in the air, and his face looked as though he'd tasted something unpleasant. I thought back to what Dr. Matsumoto had told me. According to him, my father had been spending time with the radical nationalists. It seemed that was what Kondo was implying as well. Naughty, naughty father. He seemed to notice my expression had darkened and began to speak again.
Well, even if he is collaborating with the nationalist, we still can't know what his true intentions are.
He could be being coerced, although by this point we already know.
It's entirely possible he's being threatened, or otherwise coerced into doing work he finds repugnant.
Oh, the same word I used.
And besides, his knowledge of the Furies has already proven very valuable to us. I promise, I will do everything within my power to find him.
Oh, Kondo's so sweet.
And of course, we have no intention of killing him.
He sounded honest, but it wasn't that easy to simply forget my concerns. I still have a lot of cleaning to do. Sorry. I couldn't bear to stay and talk about my father, so I excused myself and left. Need time to think on my own.
Oh, hey, perfect timing. I wanted to ask you something, Chizuru.
Oh, what is it? How come he's not moving his mouth? That's odd. Oh, he is, just very, very slightly every once in a while.
Do you know a girl named Sen? Saito seems to think you do.
I guess we didn't have that big meeting with all the captains at this point yet. Oh yes, I met her the other day while we were out on patrol.
Huh. Well, I ran into her on my rounds today, and she said she wanted to talk to you. I know they won't let you out alone, so just give me a second.
Oh, that's so nice of you to actually take the time.
Gotta take off my blues first. I must leave. I have been assigned the night shift today.
Yeah, go get some rest, Saito. Oh, okay. They nodded to one another, and then headed off in different directions. What did Sen want to talk with me about, I wondered. Guess we'll find out. In a few moments, Harada returned, and we left the compound and entered Kyoto. Chizuru! I turned to see her waving at me from a short distance away. Hi, Sen. Long time no see. No clandestine meeting here, we're just right in the middle of the street. I had a chance encounter with some of the warriors earlier, and I asked after you. I had to know if you were all right. Really? I'd been under the impression that she had something to discuss. But from the way she was talking, it sounded as though she had only inquired as to my condition. I looked at Harada, who coughed quietly and looked away. What is this about? You just want to give me some time with a female friend here?
She said she wanted to talk to you.
His voice was a low mumble. I wasn't sure if Sen had heard him or not. Oh, what do you say we have some tea over there? They have the most delicious odango. It was the tea house we visited together before. She was correct about the quality of the odango, but I glanced up at Harada.
Why don't you two go on ahead? I'm sure you got, girl stuff to talk about.
You're so sweet to let us have time alone.
I'll just go grab a cup of tea somewhere.
Thanks. Then I will take you up on your offer, Sen. Excellent. Shall we? We shall. Sen and I made our way into the tea house as Harada wandered off. Hopefully not far. Oh, we got a pretty picture, but Harada's not in it. Darn it. The pretty pictures are supposed to be for the men. So, how have you been? I imagine living with all these men can be difficult. If anything is troubling you, please never hesitate to tell me. I feel as though we've known each other for a long time. Oh, well, I had only seen her a handful of times since coming to Kyoto, but clearly we had not known one another for a long time. Had she met the girl Harada saw? The one who looked just like me? Actually, I wanted to ask you, how did you know I was a girl the first time we met? What? Oh, well, I just knew it. I mean, we're both women after all. Oh, really? Huh. I didn't really get it. But again, it wasn't like I'd been in a situation where identifying secret women was required.
Secret women?
Identifying cross-dressers as a skill. I hoped I might ask you a few questions. I apologize if I seem blunt, but how old are you, and where are you from? I think I told you that last time, but yeah, what's going on here? What's the deal? It seems kind of weird. As I began to talk, I felt myself begin to open up to her. Perhaps that had been her intent. If I started the conversation in familiar territory, it would be easier for me to move on to other things. It was nice to talk to another woman my age. The Shinsengumi's reputation certainly isn't pleasant, but it seems some of them are rather nice. A lot of them are rather nice. Huh? She nodded pointedly at Harada, who we could see standing a short distance away. Ah, good, he's keeping an eye on me. Oh. He was leaning against a post, his sharp eyes constantly surveying the area. There was something almost graceful about his profile, and I couldn't look away. I agree! He's so beautiful! Sen leaned over and whispered in my ear. I mean, he's so tall and kind of graceful looking for a man and everything. He's so gorgeous! I didn't think I would actually get to see you, but when I told him that I knew you, he said something very interesting. I believe it was, she's been really down in the dumps lately. You think you could hang out with her and talk about fun stuff? It might cheer her up. Aww! Really? God, what a sweetie you are, Sanosuke! Had he really done all that? If so, he was much more perceptive than I'd given him credit for. And the idea that he had done it just for me made me feel warm inside. Oh.
What's going on? You guys done talking?
God, you're so pretty. He seemed to have noticed we were looking at him. Yes. Am I really? I scrambled to my feet. And I should be off as well. I have other business to attend to. Okay, thanks for everything. Well, I guess that accounts for why Sen didn't really know what to say. You are quite welcome, although I have hardly done anything worth being thanked for. And you, young man, thank you as well. Good day. With a final polite bow to either of us, she turned and walked off with dainty ladylike steps. I still didn't actually know anything about Sen, but talking with her had left me feeling a great deal better.
Well, looks like you're all done. Do you want to head back to the compound?
Sure. As long as we're together.
Dang, it's almost dinner time. Time sure flies, huh?
When you're having fun.
I think they might be short a few hands, so you think you might be able to help out with the cooking? Well, I feel kind of bad giving you all these chores, though.
Well, if you're cooking, I'll be happy to help. He started off toward his room. Wait, you're not cooking? Oh, wait. I ran after him.
Huh? Something wrong?
Let's see. Did I really look that unhappy? Thanks for taking me out to talk to Sen today. But did I really look that unhappy?
Huh?
She tattled on you. She told me what you said. That you asked her to cheer me up since I looked like I was sad. If I didn't know better, I would have sworn Harada blushed.
Oh, you know. Oh man, really? Can't trust anyone to keep a secret, I guess.
I'm sorry if I was worrying you. I thought I was hiding it pretty well. I looked down at the floor, embarrassed, but then I felt one of his hands pat the top of my head.
Oh, come on. There's no way you can hide that. Anyone can see how hard it is for you.
Is that because I'm still just a kid?
Huh? Well, you're not an adult.
Aw. What do you mean, aw? You're the one who asked because you're just a kid. You're aware that you're a kid. Well, she's not really a kid. What, she's 16 or something? Okay, to me, she's a kid. But technically, she's not a kid. Actually, I don't really remember what age she is, but I think it's 16. He said it as a joke, but it still wasn't the answer I'd hoped for.
Oh, does it bother you? Being a little immature isn't always a bad thing, you know.
Yeah, just look at Heisuke.
A little bit of vulnerability and innocence always makes a woman look that much hotter.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. He let out a laugh.
Look, there's no point in trying to keep everything bottled up. Just accept who you are. That's the mature thing to do.
He patted me softly on the head and stepped into his room and shut the door. Wisdom from my elder. Later that night, I sat on the balcony and gazed up at the moon as I thought back at what had happened that day. Harada had definitely improved my mood. There was still a great deal for me to worry about, but sulking and self-pity would get me nowhere. I was useless as any kind of soldier, but I could listen to them and help them in other ways, just as Harada had done for me. So I have other uses. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze Harada Memories of Love 3 into this video. Why not? August 1867. After training, Harada shares with the protagonist the story behind his attempt at suicide and how that experience has motivated him to never be in that position again. With the conversation finished, they head into the city to do some shopping. Whee! Shopping! And I get to hear the story from his own mouth. Wait, didn't I hear it from his own mouth in the main game too? I guess this will be a variation of it.
Any guy feels like he's fighting for justice when he's protecting a lady. We did our best because of you, Chizuru.
Glad I can help motivate you guys. His voice was calm and reassuring. The demons had only come because of me. But even so, I could see no indication in Harada's face that he held me responsible. Even though his kindness comforted me, In a dark corner of my heart, I wondered how far it would go. What if fighting broke out in the city? What if some of the captains meant death one way or another? If the demons attacked then, would he be so willing to avoid ascribing blame? Yeah, I think Harada's level-headed enough not to scapegoat. July 1867. 3 months had passed since the departure of Ito and his men. Those snakes. Sen had come to the Shinsengumi headquarters in Nishi-Hongwanji to warn us. Since I was a demon, Kazuma and the other demons would be coming after me. Saying would only have put the Shinsengumi in greater danger, she said I should leave. I couldn't bring myself to do that. Sen seemed concerned, but she agreed to allow me to do as I pleased. Just as she had predicted, Kazuma and his cohorts attacked us. After the ensuing battle, the Shinsengumi was expelled from Nishi-Hongwanji and moved to Fudodo. August 1867. It didn't take long for me to begin familiarizing myself with the new headquarters. Memories of Love, Part 3. Let's get used to our new abode. August 1867. Harada had been kind enough to allow me to watch some of the warriors train.
Alright, we're taking this up a notch. Go at it like you're trying to kill each other.
I hope they're using bokens. His voice echoed through the dojo. This could result in an awful lot of injuries. A lot of the men were holding habiki. Oh, I'm not familiar with habiki. A blade that is so dull it is unable to cut. Okay, I see. I've actually never heard of that one. I guess I have about a mediocre knowledge of weapons. It gave their training an added intensity, far more than there would have been with a bamboo or wooden sword. Yeah, I'm sure a metal rod would hurt much, much more than a wooden rod.
What, you don't know the trick to a counterattack? That's probably because you're just watching the other guy's sword, right? It doesn't matter who it is. Right before they attack, there's always a hint. Some kind of tell. Isn't always in how the sword moves, though.
I like seeing him stern teaching like this. He had an answer and advice for every man who came to him with a question. More importantly, though, his answers seemed to help. The men with him were visibly improving.
Alright, that's it for today, boys. Time to clean up.
They set to work putting away their equipment as Harada made his way over to me, wiping sweat from his forehead with the back of his hand. Good job! Here's your towel.
Oh, thanks.
He took the towel from me with a smile and started mopping sweat off his face and neck. You're a really good teacher.
Really? Well, I hope they think so.
Did you just let me watch so you could show off? I don't really know anything about fighting, but it was easy even for me to understand what you were talking about. It feels kind of weird, though.
What? Weird how?
Oh, well, nothing. Never mind.
Come on. You can't say something like that and just leave me hanging. What were you going to say?
I regretted saying anything, but he had me cornered. Well, when you went to Shimbara, you said that you tried to kill yourself. I just don't see how the person I know could have done something like that. He was observant, kind, personable. In every meaningful way, he seemed to be a stable adult. Undoubtedly, he had his reasons, but I couldn't reconcile the man I knew with someone who would have done that. Harada stopped wiping and looked up at the ceiling.
Exactly.
What?
When I was a kid, I was just another idiot with a short fuse. I've stumbled and fallen flat on my face plenty of times. I know what that's like. I know what it's like to make a mistake and do something you can't take back. I pushed people away over stupid fights and lost friends because of dumb things I said.
That's one of the things I love about Harada, is that he's gone through all of those things. I love men who have gone through those tough spots and, you know, they've been jerks, they've done bad things, but then they learn from them and figure out how to be a decent person. That's one of the things I love best about him. That he went through all that crap and then he decided, you know what? That doesn't work. I actually need to be cool. And now he's an awesome person.
The family and I aren't exactly on speaking terms these days, so I don't really have anywhere to go home to. Basically, I don't want to make those mistakes anymore.
He couldn't hide the regret in his voice. I understood, though. Harada had been hurt many times by his own mistakes and misjudgments, but he'd learned from them. And that was how he'd become the man he was.
So, what do you want to do? Want to head out?
What? Really? Can I?
Sure, why not? Nobody seriously thinks you might try and bone out anymore.
Yep, I think we're pretty much well trusted at this point. On our way to the gate, we spotted Yamazaki. Hey Yamazaki, we're going out on a date. Can you hold down the fort?
Hey, what's up? You leaving? Some more of our fish and vegetables have spoiled. I'm going out to buy some more before dinner. Summer is making it very difficult to keep our food fresh.
Yeah, summer does that.
We can go get that then. We're headed out anyway. But...
He looked around surreptitiously before fixing Harada with a penetrating stare.
Are you allowed to do that? Take her outside the compound, I mean. Did the commander approve this?
Well, we've done it a couple times already.
Come on, don't sweat the small stuff. She's supposed to make dinner tonight, so I figure why shouldn't she pick out the ingredients?
Yamazaki had no further arguments that Harada was willing to listen to, so we went out. Way to go, Harada! The market was bustling with crowds out to get their own dinner ingredients.
He said we need fish and vegetables, right? How about that turnip? It looks cheap. Think we should get it?
Hold on. I stopped his hand midway toward the turnip and picked through the bin until I found the best, or at least the least bruised specimens. Yes, these should be good. Let's get them. Oh, we're not going to check around some different stalls? Harada laughed.
You've got a sharp eye. You'll make somebody a good wife someday.
You said that to me before. Keep saying it, babe. I like hearing it. Really? Yes, really. It took us another hour or so to gather the rest of the ingredients we needed.
Dang, we really got a lot, huh? For once, maybe some of the hungrier guys might actually fill up.
Yeah.
Your meals are really good. I'm stoked to have some of what you're making tonight.
Then suddenly he stopped. Are you okay? What's wrong?
Oh, nothing, I guess. Just realized I was talking to you like you were some kind of servant or something.
No, you were talking like a friend.
Usually a girl only makes food for somebody she likes, right? Sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. I mean... I like eating with other people. Especially you. I really like eating with all the guys. It's fun. I'm happy to put in the work. Back in Edo, I made food all the time, but the only people who ate it were me and my father. Harada relaxed visibly and smiled.
Huh. Well, that's good. I like a busy dinner table too, even if the food's the same. It never tastes as good if you eat alone, you know?
Yes. That's what they say anyway. I prefer eating alone myself. We were still talking when... Huh? I stopped. Walking toward us was a face I recognized. Are we in trouble?
Oh.
Heisuke's eyes went wide as he recognized us, and he stopped in his tracks. I opened my mouth to say something to him, but... The Shinsengumi was forbidden to fraternize with the guardians of the Imperial Tomb, and that included Heisuke. Oh, I forgot about that. For a long moment, we looked at one another, Heisuke's mouth hanging open as if he were about to speak. But finally he shut it, set his jaw, and turned sharply to disappear off into the crowd. Bye-bye, Heisuke. I had assumed we would cross paths with him eventually. Though Kyoto was a large city, we traveled in similar circles, but... What I hadn't considered was how much it would hurt to see him and be forced to turn away. One look at Harada's face told me that he felt the same. He looked smaller. Are you okay? When he spoke, I wasn't sure if it was to me or to himself.
Is everything I touch doomed to fall apart?
It's not 'cause of you. It has nothing to do with you. What?
I keep hoping I'll meet someone, and no matter what happens, we'll stick together, but does that kind of thing even exist?
Are you talking about friends or a woman? There was a deep resigned sadness to his words that startled me, but what he meant was clear. After what he told me in the dojo, I felt I understood what he meant all too well. He had made many mistakes in his life and driven people he cared for away, but despite all his work, Heisuke, whom he'd loved like a brother, had still left. Given the sort of man he was, though, and refused to show how much that had hurt him. At least, he had until now. I felt guilty just looking at him, as if I should say something, anything. But I couldn't find the words.
Well, ready to go home?
His voice was still full of melancholy darkness. Well, ready or not, we're going home anyway. No choice. Our walk back was nearly silent. Oh, way to go, Heisuke, you put a damper on our date.
Hey, sorry about that. I got a little grim at the end there. Anyway, I'm heading back to my room. I'll let you get started on dinner.
Would you cut that out? This is the second time you ditched me for dinner. Can't you just invite me to your room? He sounded like he always did, but I knew that even if he had managed to hide his grief again, it wasn't gone by any stretch. Harada. I looked straight at him. You can do it. You can find a bond that will survive anything. I think that's Nagakura. Those two stay together like forever. Or the longest amount of time at least. His eyes widened. Maybe you won't be able to find it the way Saito and Heisuke did, but you haven't really changed. You're all doing what you think you have to do. I knew there was an excellent chance I was trying to lecture him on something I knew nothing about. I wasn't one of them after all. But I had to say something. So, his expression shifted from surprise to realization, and then to something else. When he spoke, his voice was full of emotion.
Thanks.
He was full of emotion with just thanks? If my words could help ease his pain, even only a little, then that was all I needed. I watched him walk off, shoulders a little straighter, and let out a relieved sigh. At least I helped my honey a little bit. Alright, so I guess maybe the rest of these I'll go ahead and put into each, because they were pretty short. Next up will be... Hey, where is the next one? Oh, that's because we got the routes. Next one's not going to be until in his route. There we go. Harada Memories of Love 4. Okay, so next episode should be 4 and 5. Hope to see you there or in some of my other videos. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye bye everybody.